Bear with me one moment, folks. I'm actually just trying to share this out real quick. Appreciate you all joining me tonight. Hello. Give me one moment here. I'm actually just pulling my chat so I can make sure that I can see everything you all have to say in case any of you have questions or anything like that. So, actually, let me this real quick. We got a really fast preview of some of the stuff that I'm going to touch base on tonight here while I get it reset. I didn't realize I hadn't hit that yet. So, appreciate y'all joining me. I'm going to go through and touch base on some different things. One of the main things is talking about Batuu and what you may actually hear being said by people on the planet Batuu. So, first thing, start off, I want to start with just a little bit of a background for those that may not be quite as familiar with the information as far as what's going on with the area. Batuu itself is a remote outpost on the outer rim. It's on the edge of wild space, and it was actually a very popular planet for a long time. But what happened is, due to the popularity of new hyperdrives and hyperspace capabilities, the planet sort of has fallen under discord a little bit. Hasn't had that influx of people that it used to have. It was one of the most popular places to actually stop at before going out to wild space. Now, because of that, it's become more of a popular port for smugglers, rogue traders, those just trying to avoid the First Order, things to that effect. And Black Spire Outpost itself, where you'll be able to visit, is actually one of the most popular outposts on Batuu itself. And so, jumping into what you may actually hear, because, of course, it's going to sound in general like how we talk on a normal basis, but there's going to be phrases and certain words that are used that aren't maybe the way that we would phrase it on a regular basis. So, starting off with a popular one that you'll hear a lot if you've looked at any of the videos that they've been sharing lately, from anyone that's had the chance to go either during previews or now. A popular one is bright suns. Bright suns is good morning or hello during the morning or early part of the day. So, normal response to someone saying bright suns to you is repeating bright suns back to them. Good evening or hello later in the day is rising moons. The planet itself has 3 suns and 2 moons. So I've seen that villagers will represent bright suns like this and rising moons like this. So 3 suns, 2 moons. On the opposite end, when you want to say goodbye to someone, you actually have a lot of different options where if you have 2 for basically good morning, good evening, you have 4 pretty popular ones. One you may want to avoid depending on who you're talking to. So the first one is, may the spires keep you. So for those that aren't familiar with the area of Batuu, and in particular Black Spire Outpost, you'll notice that there's very large natural form structures around a lot of the buildings. Those are actually not mountains, those are petrified trees, but they're referred to as the spires, or Black Spire. And so a goodbye would be, may the spires keep you, or another option that's very similar is Till the Spire. Besides that, a more relaxed goodbye as well is Good Journey. And the one I said you have to be careful who you say this to is May the Force be with you. Traditional popular Star Wars greeting or goodbye is May the Force be with you. And that's one that you can use, but I would avoid any first order individuals when you say that. You want to make sure that you're in a resistance populated area when you say that. So now that you've said hello and know how to say goodbye to someone, want to go over some things that you may deal with there. There's actually a lot of area to spend some money, and you will have restaurants and stores and different vendors throughout that you'll be able to spend money at. And they don't call money as we do. They refer to money as credits. So if you hear someone say that something is 10 credits, that's equivalent for us of 10 US dollars. But you'll hear it referred to as 10 credits. The options too, when they talk with you, they will ask you if you want to pay in paper credits or plastic credits. Paper credits is cash, and plastic credits is credit cards. So you have two options whenever you pay that they'll traditionally ask you. So if you hear them asking about paper or plastic credits, cash or credit card. Let's see here. For some of us, we actually do have individuals that have annual passes that qualify for discounts on certain things. Now, of course, there are some items right now because of the popularity and the demand of certain items that you will not be able to use your annual pass discounts. But if it is something that you can use your annual pass discount on, you may be asked for your credentials when you say about using your annual pass, or if they may see something like on your magic band reflecting that you are an annual pass holder. So they'll ask if you have your credentials for a discount. So something else that you may hear, normally cast members aren't a big one to tell you that they don't know something, but if for some reason they don't, maybe you're talking about more so a legend in the Star Wars universe, then they may respond only the ancients know. Let's see here. Other things that you may use or need in Batuu. One thing that you may use at a lot of different points in time is your cell phone. They do not refer to a cell phone as a cell phone. It's referred to as a data pad. So if you hear someone reference getting your data pad out or using your data pad to access a translator through the Disney Play app, for example, that would be you pulling out your cell phone and using the software on it that you can download to use. From what I've been seeing, as far as using the translators and other things, there's a ton of options available. I haven't had a chance to actually sit down and watch anyone use it personally on site, but I've seen in a lot of videos where I can see like the QR codes that you use for the different activities. So definitely keep your eyes open when you visit Batuu to have those options available to use your data pad to be able to translate things and others. Something that if you've been maybe having a little bit too much blue milk or decided to have a little bit too much tip-yip, which is chicken. For those that aren't sure, when you read the menu, tip-yip is chicken. you may need the restroom. So restroom is a refresher. So if you hear someone say, well, the refresher is over there, they're talking about the restroom. Something also very near the refresher many times is the water fountain. That is not normally referred to as a water fountain. It is called a hydrator. So if you need a drink, ask where the hydrator is, and they will point you to where the closest water fountain is. Let's see here. Popular one that many people that are familiar with the Star Wars universe have probably heard. Children are not referred to as kids or anything like that. They are called younglings. Or in the case if it's maybe someone that's force sensitive, a Padawan. Those younglings may need to get around and may not have the energy to explore all of Batuu on their own. So they would actually potentially need a youngling transport, or as we usually refer to it, a stroller. So if they ask you to move your youngling transport to a particular location, maybe before you hop on a ride or go into a store, they're asking you to move your stroller to a particular spot. Besides the strollers, another popular thing that many people need during their stays on Batuu is a wheelchair or power scooter. So you may see or hear those referred to as a transport. So if someone does have a need for a wheelchair, you may hear a cast member refer to their transport. And then something that you will potentially hear if you are in a strong resistance area is you may hear some of the villagers or a resistance member yell, "Ignite the spark." The response to that, if you are a member of the resistance, is "Light the fire." So those are popular phrases that you will hear while in Batuu and at Black Spire Outpost. There probably will be more that will come out over time. I will probably update this and do another video as we get further along. But what I would like to do, besides discussing the potential options for things to hear, is potentially people that you'll see. So I want to sort of give an overview for those that maybe don't know everyone that you might run into at Black Spire Outpost. And there's always potential of having additional surprise. Someone that was off planet has made their way to Black Spire. But there are some that have been already reported in the sector, and so we want to make sure that we are aware of that if that is something that is of interest for you. So we'll jump in actually to some quick pictures so that you can actually see who you may run into at Black Spire Outpost. So this is actually just a few quick shots of the area. Beautiful area, lots of trees around there, not counting, of course, all the petrified ones. And while you're there, if you are someone that leans towards the resistance, you will potentially run into, well, excuse me, before that, first group is villagers. You will see villagers throughout all of the areas of Batuu and Black Spire Outpost. So keep your eyes open. They will have similar clothing to some of these outfits that you see here. Just like us, they have a variety of options available to them. Actually, many different hairstyles than you might see on people in other areas down there. And they have a little bit more flexibility in what they can wear on a daily basis. So their wardrobes will vary drastically, but they do have an indicator badge for anyone that does work in the shops. If you have any questions or anything, that you'll be able to get your assistance. So then, besides that, you will have Rey. Rey, who is the spark for the Resistance, and of course, newest Jedi. You will potentially see her running around with another lovable furry character, Chewie. Chewie and Rey will be working on different missions that you may come across them. Working on the Falcon, fixing some antennas, etc. Throughout, in particular, the Resistance held portion of Black Spire. Another person actually that you'll potentially see throughout the area is Vi Maradi. I apologize. I'm still not 100% sure on the exact pronunciation of her name, but I've heard it is Vi. She is basically one of Leia's top spies, and has relocated to Black Spire Outpost to help the Resistance. Someone a little more shady even than a Resistance spy is Hondo. Sorry, some Resistance clothing there. So if you happen to be in a Resistance area, you may see some people dressed like this. Next is Hondo Ohnaka. Hondo Ohnaka is a smuggler. Lives a little on the fringe. He does what benefits himself. But he can earn you some credits if you happen to have some time to help him out with some missions. So based on your availability of time, you may want to pop over to Ohnaka Transport Solutions and see one of his crew members, and they will point you in the right direction for him to potentially give you a mission. This is actually some of the clothing you'll see for them. The blue vests and the hat sort of give you a good indicator that you've made it to the right place if you're trying to find Ohnakas. On the other end of the spectrum, we have Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren, of course, many are familiar with it. He is a very powerful Sith and leader within the First Order. You will see him normally not alone. He'll normally be accompanied by some of the First Order officers or potentially some First Order stormtroopers. So be careful around them. You probably will want to stay out of their way and not cause any problems, or you may end up getting detained. And someone that is rumored to potentially be in the sector and may end up at Black Spire Outpost is Commander Pyre. Commander Pyre is a stormtrooper commander that there is rumors floating around that he may have made it into the Outer Territories and may be reassigned to Black Spire soon. So keep your eyes open for him. He is not hard to miss, especially in comparison to the traditional white stormtroopers of the First Order. So keep your eyes open for him in the future. And that's actually all I got tonight. I appreciate everyone that stopped in. I hope that you all enjoy the video. Look forward to talking with you more soon. And if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me through the Facebook page, the group. If you're not currently subscribed there, facebook.com/groups/Galaxy's Edge. And request an ad there. And if you need assistance booking a shuttle to Batuu, don't hesitate to reach out to me at facebook.com/snapshotjustin, and I'll be happy to see what we can do to get you on that next transport to Batuu. I hope you have a great evening, and rising moons to all of you.